DJ Scream, Corey, what's happening? Spins on the beat.
It's Hoodrich Radio, you better not change the station.
It's Hoodrich Radio, it's DJ Scream. It's time for that superstar check-in, and we welcome in the building today, man, the triple legend, man, the one, the only, Benzino. Welcome to Hoodrich Radio, finally in the building,
bro. You
don't
even know, man. This is really a pleasure, man. I'm honored, man, for real.
How you feeling first off?
Feeling good. I'm feeling good. You know what I'm saying? Got a lot going on,
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to discuss some music for sure. You brought us some new music
no
that
doubt.
we're going to play.
No doubt.
And everything. But just tell everybody what you've been up to in general, you know what I'm saying? Some of your business moves, some of your personal moves.
I mean, a lot of reality TV.
Yeah.
Of course. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A lot of reality TV. Like, I never really knew, just, you know what I'm saying, that one day I'm telling Stevie about monogamy, that it would even be all this.
Right,
so,
right.
A lot of that, of course, Hip Hop Weekly.
Yeah.
The magazine, me and my partner Dave Mays of 30 years now, you know what I'm saying? We're still putting that out.
Nice.
Of course, still doing music for me and my girl out there. She has an album coming out. She actually has a single with Remy Martin that's pretty dope, produced by Sonny Digital.
Right, okay.
Stupid. And yeah, just, you know what I'm saying, pretty much, I'm brand new father, you know what I'm saying, raising baby Zeno and just, living life.
So talk to us, coming from a hip hop element and potentially, the street element and everything. How did you adjust to, kind of being like, we always saw Benzino, we always saw the artist, the entrepreneur Benzino, but then like one day now you're on the TV screen, all your privacy has diminished. You know what I'm saying? Like, how was that transition, and have you completely transitioned to that?
With me, when it comes to hip hop and the streets, it was all one for me when I first started. I started back in the 80s.
Right.
And it was all one. The streets and hip hop were one. So it was all relative. Of course, as you move on, it becomes a business. Then that kind of separates it a little bit, because of the business side of it.
Right.
Right. Because the business can ruin friendships. The business can take a whole different toll on everything else that you've had because of the business.
Right.
But we had a great run with the Source magazine, and people kind of knew who I was, but I think I was always getting caught up in controversy. I mean, I think because we from Boston, I don't think people looked back then as Boston as a hip hop city at the time. But I mean, we're only 2.5 hours drive away from New York.
Right.
So we was listening to everything,
Right.
And I think the other thing was that just the situation with the Source. Me having a rap group from Boston, and there's the Source, and as me and Dave developed our friendship, I ended up being a partner. And then, of course, it's my magazine now, so of course I'm going to have ads in there of my group, but people did not understand that back then.
I remember that too. It felt like you were implementing the cheat code, but if it's your own, then why wouldn't you?
Oprah's on the cover of her magazine every single month.
Why not?
I think back then people didn't see it like that because back then the college kids were the ones that were the editors, and they looked at it as a certain amount of integrity.
Yeah.
But I couldn't even understand that because, well, look, I'm from the street. We was gang banged out. We got a deal. A couple of our members had got killed. I mean, we've had real situations. Why not a feature about us? Yeah, and Dave Mays is my man. Like, what is the? But they looked at it as, no, they shouldn't get that coverage because they have to be able to earn that, and so they really couldn't understand that back then. But in retrospect, everybody that probably worked back then are now in some way trying to promote themselves, whether it be Elliott Wilson, whether it be, I mean, there's a lot of people that went through the Source doors that are now doing great things. And I'm sure all of them are trying to promote themselves now. So, we don't want to, it's not, I don't know if it's called hypocrisy, but it's just a learning experience.
Right. Absolutely. What's some of the things that people can look forward to Benzino now in the present 2016? We know you got the dope Crab Shack out there.
The Crab.
I've been there a couple times.
Trap, baby.
Crab Trap, yeah. I've been there a couple times. I done called shouts to that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So that's one business endeavor, obviously Hip Hop Weekly. But I guess I'm trying to show the typical artist or the typical musician, like, how many hats you can wear, how many different things you can do. Because some people are so wrapped up in just music, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you got to be able to expand that because there's only a few slots. You know what I'm saying? There's only a few vehicles to get your stuff played. I mean, there's so many rappers and it's so oversaturated that, you really have to be special to get your stuff out there now.
Right.
Of course, it's who you know. We know that. But my thing is, it's like, a lot of cats, the younger generation, like the millennials, like they see me as somebody from Love and Hip Hop. What I notice about this generation is they really don't have they don't want to go back into time in their history. They just don't.
Yeah.
These, this generation is about what's going on now,
Right.
what's popping now, and it seems like anything that has to do with history brings old to them. And these people are like, these young people are more like they're addicted to old. They have a not addicted to it, but they have a phobia of old. Man. You know what I'm saying? They thinking old is just, but it's just experience, man. Hip hop and music in general and life is just experience. And it's like, I love music. I started out as a DJ back in the day, and I still got a album collection of over 10,000 albums right now.
Nice.
Like, I'm heavy into hip hop. I know my history of hip hop and music is vast.
Right.
So I've always loved music, man, and like I've always made music. You know what I'm saying? The Source magazine, of course, was just a phenomenon, and me attached to it made it that much more crazier because I didn't know the magazine was going to blow up like that. You know what I'm saying? It was just like crazy, So people know me for a lot of different reasons, but if you look at the one thing that connects everything is hip hop. Like I'm a hip hop junkie. I love hip hop. My kids are hip hop. You know what I'm saying? So I would just say hip hop is the common denominator for everything I do.
So you live in Atlanta now?
Yeah, I'm here. You know what I'm saying? I had to go out to LA to go shoot the next 15, and we got a little satellite office of Hip Hop Weekly out there. So I'm trying to do the back and forth thing.
How's the next 15 experience been for you so far?
I mean, that was crazy. Reality shows are crazy.
Right.
I think what works good for me is that I'm just who I am. A lot of times I think people get cameras in front of them and it changes them, or it makes them think that they have to act a certain way.
Right.
And I'm not that. I'm very comfortable within myself to where I could just be me. And sometimes I just forget the cameras are there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. We seen. We seen.
For real. So I just, what I'm saying? The next 15 was like dope because it kind of showed, me than just getting into drama or giving advice to somebody else. It kind of showed what else were, the other things as like, of course, me in the Crab Trap. It showed the birth of my child, which was pretty awesome.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Shout out to Althea Hart, my baby. You know what I'm saying? She did a great job with that.
Are y'all actually married or?
No. We're engaged. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we're engaged. Like,
Okay.
Of course, we're in a relationship, and it gets hectic. Me and Titi kind of fell in love under some other circumstances and on TV for everybody to see.
Right.
So of course we're going to be judged, but at the end of the day, it's like that's the life that we chose, and we got to stick through it. And we were just talking before, and it was like, I noticed when people think when you fall in love it gets easier. Actually, that's when the fighting,
when the work starts.
And not fighting in a bad way. The fighting for love has to start.
Fighting for love, yeah.
Yeah, the work. You said the work. You got.
It's almost like when you get a record deal. People think like when you get the record deal.
Oh, that's it.
That's it. But no, that's when it starts.
I made it.
Right. That's when it starts.
Right. You ain't made it yet. Right.
Right.
That's the door opening, and now you got to walk all them flights of stairs up. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same thing with relationships. I definitely plan on marrying her. There's no question. I mean, I hope she plans on marrying me, but we go through it like everybody else. You know what I'm saying? And we're trying to keep it together. And that's a good thing. She has a project coming out. Like I said, she got this dope song with Remy Martin that's coming out called Controversy, because she was signed to Def Jam at one point.
Right, okay.
With Foxy back in the day.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so you know what I'm saying? So we got some things going on.
Do you think like in hip hop morals and ethics that certain things aren't valued enough, like family, like loyalty, like manhood, like womanhood, like so many things?
Man, that's the culture. That's like right now we're probably at our lows. I mean, honestly, the love for one another is probably at the lowest I've ever seen. I mean, I've lived in the 70s, 80s, 90s, and I was out there. I was in, out there. So I think just the love and the respect for each other is at an all-time low. And I'm afraid to say if we don't get it right, we're gonna have real problems that we haven't even understood yet.
And I think people don't understand. And I said this in a couple of interviews, and people are like, "What are you talking about?" But we could lose hip hop. We can lose. It's something. It's something that people don't understand. That when you look at it, it's kind of like it's taken for granted. Like people don't understand. Like when you come from the streets and you're able to make it in music, that's a blessing. But it's like I see some people come from the streets and get into music just to it's kind of counterproductive. It's like, damn, you're doing more street shit in the
Man, let me
music.
tell you something. We've already lost a big chunk of it. You got to understand, Scream, back then there was so many more minority-owned labels, and I mean, you could come home from jail and get a job, a real job in hip-hop. Hip-hop, was flourishing. The money was flourishing in the 90s, and everybody was eating.
Right.
It ain't like that now.
Right.
And the ill things that there are, the internet has made it to where that it could be even more. It's just the support for one another. If everybody's, it's to the point now where I said there's more rappers than fans.
Yeah, it's the truth.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
It's the truth.
Like, there's more rappers than people who are actually fans of rap.
It's true. It's hard to get patrons.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And so you're right.
Yeah. New record, Flexing for the Check, is out now, man. We know you, man, known for making like summer anthems hits for the longest, man. That's what you do. It's kind of like exercise for you. But talk to us about this record and how it differs from some of your others.
I mean, of course, I came down to Atlanta. I lived in Miami. I lived in Houston. I've always vibed out New York in different elements. L.A., hip-hop. Every area has a different element.
Right.
And, Atlanta sound, when I first come down, I had to kind of like just fall back and just kind of just like be somebody to learn who's the hottest producers and the history, the culture, and just didn't want to jump out there. And then once I started understanding how the 808 hit down here and how that turn-up music is, man, it was like, to me, that's what's kind of driving hip-hop. You know what I'm saying, is the Atlanta sound.
Right.
And though it may switch up a little more in Chicago or LA, but I think the drive, the catalyst still comes from Atlanta. So, you know what I'm saying, first thing I had to do was find some of these young producers and get with, you know what I'm saying, and just, you know what I'm saying, poly and just kind of like get a flow and just watch, learn, listen. And I got it to a point now where I'm happy with it. So Flexing for the Check is just, I've done a lot of songs, so it's just the joint where I felt like, yeah, that's that tempo, that's that knock. So let's just throw that out there, you know what I'm saying?
After a legacy such as yours, bro, like, you have to ask the question, what's next? Like, what's on that checklist that you feel like you still got to accomplish?
I mean, I want to get franchise these crab traps. Like, I'm doing really good.
Nice
with the crab thing. I've always cooked and everything, man.
And you, that's crazy. Like, you're hands on. Like, you see on Instagram, you'll be in there in the kitchen.
Those are my sauces, the homemade sauces.
Those are your sauces.
All my recipes.
Wow.
Straight from the head. I mean, measured out everything.
Nice.
Everything in there, from the spices on the shrimp, the catfish. Everything's my recipe.
Nice.
And, of course, I have my guys working, but they all have to sign confidentiality, agreements.
Not to
just
steal
like
your
in music,
shit.
not to steal. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Right.
So I want to franchise those, get those all over the place, because every time I post something, people from all over the world are like, "Yo, we need a crab trap here."
Yeah.
We need so I want to make that happen. Me and Titi about to get our own show. We're about to start filming in Atlanta.
Nice.
Yeah, on We TV. It's gonna come on We TV.
Dope.
That's amazing. And I know there's gonna be a second season of The Next 15 with Carlos King. I'm thinking, and also Hip Hop Weekly TV. We're about to start filming that. Yeah.
Nice.
So with Carlos, Carlos King's the guy that does The Real Housewives, selling in Atlanta. He's from Detroit. He's an amazing talent.
Right.
He's kind of like the guy right now when it comes to reality TV. So we're about to start that in production, man. So it's gonna be a pretty busy summer.
Okay.
Yeah.
And talking politics, do you follow politics at all?
All the time.
All the time. Do you favor? I'm not gonna ask you if you favor Trump. You might favor it, but do you favor Bernie or Hillary or Trump?
You know what, Bernie.
Bernie.
Because Hillary, Bill and them, when Hillary was in, like, they locked up, like they signed that truth and sentencing, and I can't never forget that. I don't want to hear that. You did that, and see, a lot of that affected us. So you ain't gonna hear too much about that,
right?
You know what I'm saying? But I can't trust Hillary with that anymore, especially since dudes are finally coming home. Time has been cut. Obama, switched it around to where is that people who got small-time drug offenses can come home now. You know what I'm saying? That's an amazing thing.
Yeah.
I'm afraid if she goes back in there, it could turn it around. Now, Bernie was down really with the same thing. But Bernie's been talking really good about the disproportion of jails and blacks. And, you know what I'm saying? He's talked about it so loud that I'm saying if you go in there and don't do what you're saying, then you're really going to be held accountable. I mean, he's vocal. He's the most vocal about it.
Right.
So, I mean, to me, it's almost like, all right, pick one. Eeny, meeny, miny. It's the lesser greater evils, man. You just don't know. I haven't really thought about it. I mean, I know Trump would probably be more dangerous than anything. And it's not necessary to black people, because you know what? When you think about it, not too much changes for us, man. We got to scrape and struggle for what we get anyways. So it's not like, anything changes so much. You know what I'm saying? I think it has to start with us as a people. We just got to start loving each other. And then once we love each other, then we should love everybody. I mean, honestly, and I really mean this. I've been through the most violent situations and growing up and everything, but I really do, living up, being on this earth 50 years, I understand that really, love is it's more organized. It's more pleasant. You can get more done. People can get more out of it. Hate just ruins everything.
Yeah.
It just makes things confusing. It makes it that much more to do. Like, you have to work extra hard to get there. Like, love can make things a little easier.
Yeah.
At least support. If it ain't gonna be
truth,
love,
man.
at least support.
That's the truth. That's the truth. You have to speak the truth. And the truth is love. So he's giving y'all love, people.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Benzino, we appreciate you coming through
Man,
Hoodrich
Scream
Radio.
Big, yo.
What up, DJ Scream? Corey, what's happening? Spins on the beat.
It's Hoodrich Radio. You better not change the station.